guys, what's going on? You're catching the MadGood Knicks Show here at downtown Uptown. All right, you are going to find us interviewing our boy Quincy from Nolita in New York or nowhere.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the MadGood Knicks Show special edition. We're here to talk about the lottery, of course, on every Knicks fan's mind. We got the third overall pick. We're here with Quincy Moore.
Could be worse.
It could be much worse, man. Quincy Moore, of course, if you guys don't know him, go back to our videos. We did a dope interview on his brand. It's called Nolita, behind the New York or nowhere, a very iconic brand. You've seen players wear it. It's in MSG. You've seen a lot of fans wear it. Quincy, thanks again for joining us. I want to get your reaction.
Cheers, man. First and foremost, right?
Yeah.
Cheers, guys.
I want to get your reaction, but before we get to that, it's pretty dope what you're doing with Nolita right now. You guys have what you call everywhere or nowhere. So it's already, you got the New York and nowhere brand.
Correct.
That's iconic. Tell us a little bit about this philanthropic venture here, everywhere or nowhere.
So you know, I think obviously giving back is important. Philanthropy is important, and you know, as the brand was growing, it wasn't sort of part of my origin story. And then I was kind of looking for a way to incorporate it into sort of like our corporate culture and like what the brand stands for and what it does. And so we're using this everywhere or nowhere idea to start giving back to various causes. So the first one we did actually was in collaboration with Alexandra Richards, who is the daughter of Keith Richards. I don't know if you ever heard of him, a little band called the Rolling Stones. So Alexandra and I came together, we designed a sweatshirt and partnered with Out East, which is a rosé brand, and a charity called Project Zero, which is based in London. And they're essentially an environmental organization that does various like ocean-themed initiatives, and this one was for the mangroves. I don't know if you know what mangroves are.
Of course, yeah.
It's tentacle trees. You know what a mangrove is?
Yeah.
Mangroves are kind of like they're kind of amazing.
They really help the environment.
They do.
They soak up like a lot of CO2 emissions.
Correct. They're kind of like they're as important, if not more important, than the rainforest in their ability to store CO2, and so they're kind of like one of our Earth's greatest assets in fighting climate change.
So when someone purchases everywhere and nowhere branded merchandise, where do the proceeds go? So
the net proceeds are then donated to Project Zero, and Project Zero is using those funds to sort of rehabilitate the mangrove population in North American countries. So you know you can find them all over the world, and they're going extinct. Like if we don't sort of change course and deter people from shrimping and deforestation and sort of all of these uses that are not sustainable, they're going to go away. And if they go away, we're kind of fucked.
I mean, yeah, projects like this are critical, especially in a time like this when our government isn't doing all that they could possibly do. We need individuals like yourself, businesses like yours, to step up and do the right thing. So
it's important. Yeah, thank you. I mean, I think the next one for us is really bringing it back home to New York, and we're about to institute and install a permanent give back program that's going to come from sales of the New York or nowhere product, and the charity is about to be announced like first week of June, but it's a local charity that gives back to underprivileged youth. I think a lot of companies do philanthropy, but they do it like disparately, and even the everywhere or nowhere thing is like, cool, the mangroves you can't see them, you can't touch them. I think that's why people have a hard time with climate change and other sort of causes like that. So we want to be doing things that are close to home.
That's phenomenal work there. Let's talk a little bit about New York or nowhere.
Yeah.
What's next? I mean, the brand took off. It is dope.
Yeah. Thank you.
The most important thing, and we were speaking about this off camera, is a lot of individuals or companies might just launch their own brand or their T-shirts or whatever. But it takes something special for you to want to rock something on a Friday night, on a Sunday afternoon, throughout the weekday, and that's what the Nolita brand is. So.
I know. I mean, I ask you the same question. I see you guys rocking this shit all the time. Every time you're up on the gram, you're wearing the New York or nowhere stuff. So, what is it about it that resonates with you?
It's amazing. All right, quality first and foremost. I think it's just a simplistic design. And I think so many people, they try to do too much. And with the design of the New York and nowhere and the Nolita branded gear that we have, I mean, it's so comfortable and it goes with everything. How could you not?
Yeah.
And it's different.
To add on to that, my brother and I have been fighting over some sweaters since him and I have one each, and we've been fighting over it. But the beauty about
Need to get you guys more swag.
Exactly. But the beauty about that, having the Nolita, is the fact that you're representing more of an idea.
Yeah.
And then the brand comes along with that idea.
Right.
A lot of consumers, a lot of manufacturers or clothing companies or apparel companies, they try to really push that brand fully.
Correct.
But you're pushing more of an idea,
Yeah.
and you're attaching that brand with it, which is the reason why I think I like to rock it, first of all, representing New York and where I'm from.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons that I'm fighting over with my brother with the sweater. So that's what resonates with me. And on top of the quality and the fit, it's top
5
Great.
stars.
We appreciate
Five
it.
top
stars.
notch, man.
I'll
I
take
love
it. 5 stars. 5 stars better
So
than 4.
what's next for the brand?
So we just recently spun New York or Nowhere out into its own entity. So Nolita still exists. It's it was always sort of a creative agency for me and remains that. It's kind of the parent company to what we're calling NYON. So we're using the acronym to sort of hone our focus in on this idea and scale that out with different product categories, different activations, different collaborations and partnerships with iconic New York institutions. Obviously the Knicks stuff will continue into next season, but this is sort of, I wanted to really define what the brand was, and the only way that we could do that is detach it in some ways from Nolita, because there's a little bit of disconnect between like what is this and what is that.
It's interesting actually. I was walking with TK
Yeah.
in the street. We saw someone with a Nolita. I think it was a New York or Nowhere, or was it Nolita? It was New York or Nowhere.
Yeah.
And we shout out, you're like, yo, Nolita.
And they didn't know what the fuck it was.
Unfortunately.
which is a testament to New York or Nowhere and the
It's
idea of that.
Yep.
And it has, like, this is just me paying attention to what people like. You know what I mean? Like, Nolita's my baby is the first brand I ever started, and it means a lot to me. But New York or Nowhere transcended anything that Nolita ever was, and so like it earned the right to kind of like have autonomy, and for us to put sort of like our heart and soul behind that brand and pushing that brand and growing it, as big as we can.
But you're approaching it from the style where you want to push an agenda rather than push a brand, which is the reason
Correct.
why it is so successful thus far.
I appreciate that. I think you're right. I mean, I think, look, there's so many brands out there today. It's so hard to like get your message across, and the last thing that I want to spend my life doing is like selling product to people.
Okay,
Like
exactly,
I do want to sell this idea. I want to sell like community, and this give back stuff is very important. So it has a little bit more substance to it, and like it didn't start that way, but it's evolved into that. And if it didn't reach that point, I don't think I'd still be doing it.
Right.
Just because it doesn't, like, I'm not motivated by selling t-shirts.
I think the philanthropic tie into Everywhere and Nowhere, that moved in so smoothly to what you were doing with New York or Nowhere, which is one of the reasons why, as soon as we saw it, we're like, yo, this is brilliant, man.
I love that. I appreciate it.
This is a great idea.
It has a point of view behind it, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like,
So, in case you guys are wondering where we are right now, we are on the Upper East Side of Manhattan at a bar called DTUT, Downtown Uptown. We have our beverages in hand.
yeah. Mine's running low.
what do you have?
Yours is running low.
Yeah, what is this?
What are you drinking, man?
This is, I don't know, you got it for me. What is
I think
this?
it's Irish coffee.
Irish coffee with a little bit of whipped cream on
You
top.
got an Irish coffee, you got a Cosmopolitan, and I'm drinking a beer.
This is a dark and stormy.
Okay. I thought that was cranberry juice and pineapple juice.
It looks like it, but yeah, I'm a little embarrassed. But
With a hint
you're
of
good.
lime on top. What'd you get?
I got
Apple
a
juice?
little, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So
Bitter
we
apple.
need a little bit of alcohol after a couple days ago. But the New York Knicks, man.
Yeah.
You're a Knicks fan, like
Yeah.
us. I wanted to get your opinion. We got the 3rd overall pick.
Yeah.
Talk me through, before you even get into like the ultimate reaction, talk me through where you were when you were watching the draft,
Okay.
how you felt when they announced the 4th pick to the Lakers and then the Knicks, and then you saw who else was left on board.
Anxiety was
Talk
high.
me through that.
I was in Massachusetts. I was visiting my dad. He lives in the Berkshires, so I was at he owns a Japanese restaurant, and so I got there at like 8:25. Grabbed his keys, went upstairs to his office, was by myself, like on a pull-out couch, watching this on a shitty little TV screen.
You mean
like,
there
in a little ball,
there weren't
like
any
this,
other
like
Knicks
sweating
fans?
profusely. No, my brother eventually came. Like he doesn't give a shit. He's a farmer. But so I was there alone. Anxiety was high. It was the most exciting, like objectively the most exciting the draft has ever been.
Oh,
right? Like,
absolutely.
It worked
down,
from that perspective.
Hands down. The amount of money that they made just off of that lottery of the 30, 40 minutes that they had on. They had all the prospects there. They had all the big name teams there. All the cameras were there. And they had a pre-show, a post-show.
It's crazy.
Brilliant. It was brilliant.
The NBA is an institution. They are a corporation.
Which is why it would have made a lot more sense if Zion Williamson went to New York.
Correct, but that's not how the cookie crumbled.
Unfortunately.
You know what I mean?
Probability in mathematics.
Correct.
So,
Unfortunately, not
we
in our
fell
favor.
for it, man.
We fell for it.
Everyone was so confident. Did you get this? Did you get the feeling that
but
we're gonna?
Dude, we're New Yorkers, and we're Knicks fans. False confidence is like part of our DNA.
So
you know what I mean? Like I was also confident. I was excited about the. Like the 14% potential. What's fucked up, I was listening to Bill Simmons, I don't know if you listened to his draft after show, but they were saying that the probability for the first pick after they made the last four was like 55% or something like that.
That's
I don't know how that math works.
That's the kicker, because when you look at it, all right, so the Lakers had a 2% chance at the first pick.
Crazy.
The Grizzlies had a 6% chance, and
So
the
did the
Pelicans had the 6% chance. We had 14, but obviously the percentage went up because the Cleveland Cavs and the Suns got assed the fuck out. More so than the Knicks, which is something I'm happy about.
Yeah, I mean, at least look, the third pick is the third pick. Like, there's some. They did a breakdown of all. Like, Michael Jordan was drafted third, right? There's a bunch of, which is not to say that we're gonna draft. Like, I don't think R.J. Barrett, to be fair, is gonna be Michael Jordan. I'm not sold on him, to be honest.
Interesting.
But it's hard. Like, he was in the shadow of Zion at Duke.
Yep.
He's from Canada.
He is.
The Canadians are hit or miss. Like,
They are very hit or miss.
Point.
You know what I mean?
Exactly what TK
Like,
was saying.
Tristan Thompson. Canadian.
Tristan Thompson's one.
Shitty.
Andrew
Wiggins. Dad.
What's his name? Murray from Denver. I mean, he kind of panned out.
Steve Nash ain't so bad.
Steve Nash, sorry.
Steve Nash was actually R.J. Barrett's mentor. Fun fact.
That's right. So R.J. Barrett's like from his dad is like the head of Canadian Basketball Association.
Something like
too,
that.
right? So,
Yeah,
he's been in it
some
for a while.
tie-in.
Yeah.
I think he could be really good.
It's
I
the
don't know.
pedigree.
It is the pedigree. I don't trust Canadian basketball players. There was someone else recently that was from Canada, but I can't remember who it was. Anyway, I don't know. Like, is that
no
the
way?
pick?
Wasn't like Anthony Bennett from Canada?
Anthony Bennett.
Was he?
Maybe.
Was he? He was, right?
He
Anthony
was.
Bennett was from Canada,
Right.
number 1 overall pick by the Cavs.
Right.
So here, I mean, the other messed up part of all of this is the Knicks have been suffering for so long. Aside from the Patrick Ewing first overall pick, we haven't had a first pick. This is the Pelicans' second time they've had the first overall
Right.
pick. Cavs had it 3 times. I think Bulls had it twice. And this is just, come on, why can't we catch a break?
But Q, you know what's really hurtful right now is we were hoping that if we at least got the third pick and the Pelicans fell short, that we could at least use that as a trade value.
It was worst case scenario.
It was
To be
worst
fair,
case
like it's
scenario.
the worst thing that could have happened for all
well,
of
the
the
fifth pick.
possibilities.
The fifth pick would have been worst case scenario. for the
Correct.
Knicks.
Yeah, I think the Pelicans getting the first pick in general is like worst case scenario for any
It was,
potential
yeah,
Anthony
for
Davis
that-
trade.
that's
Who knows
true.
if that ever comes to fruition?
Right.
Now, but look, who knows? I'm not convinced that Anthony Davis is going to stay. I think Griffin is a great
He
GM.
confirmed he's not going to stay in New Orleans.
I don't know why
so.
he doesn't want to be second fiddle to Zion. This dude is 26 years old. Like
Yeah.
he wants to be the premier superstar.
Yep.
To me, like even if you go to LA, you're not going to be that, right?
Yep.
So like, kind of got to come to the Knicks.
Well, if he comes
It's
to
the
the
only
Knicks
choice.
and then we sign KD and we sign Kyrie.
Tell you what, I don't fucking want
Oh
Kyrie.
God.
You can keep Kyrie.
So-
Boston can keep Kyrie.
Let me tell you this much about Kyrie, right? This is my opinion on it. And so halfway through the season, I'm like, damn, I don't really want Kyrie because of the attitude, because he's not playing all that great. All right, fine, that's all good and well. Then you get to the playoffs, he had a couple of great games, and then he just fell off, right? I think it's Brad Stevens' system of not being able to handle a superstar because that's just how his system works.
Yeah.
Versus a guy like David Fizdale, who was in Miami, who managed 3 superstars,
Correct.
1 championship. If there's anyone outside of maybe like Popovich, Kerr, some of those guys, but Fizdale's one guy I would trust with superstars, and especially with Kyrie.
I think
Beggars
I
can't be
think you're
choosers
right.
either.
No, I mean I think you're right. I think it's like I don't trust someone that thinks the Earth is flat. You know what I mean? Like first and foremost.
All right,
I
yes.
don't want moody superstars. Like, can you imagine him and Durant, both moody motherfuckers?
They're
on the same
both
team
very
together?
moody. They're both very moody.
I don't think we can handle that.
I gotta trust in my guys, and at this point, it's Steve Mills, Scott Perry. I think they have the right relationships.
I think they're doing a really good job.
I think so.
Everybody
I
was
think
real
so.
sus after the Porzingis trade.
Yep, and ended up being like, okay, I don't want a guy who's gonna get jacked up in Latvia, out clubbing at 4 a.m.
Who knew the Russians love New York so much? Like,
Oh yeah, they got Brighton Beach, man.
That's
They
true.
got a
That's
whole
true.
neighborhood out there.
that's right.
Brighton
To add on to that,
Shout out to Last Stop on the R Train.
Last stop on the other train, baby. To add on to that Kyrie thing, we've never really seen Kyrie thrive in a system. I mean, like Boston, like you said, is a system. You can say that playing with LeBron is a system, but that's just
They ain't
LeBron's
a
system.
system.
That's
Yeah,
LeBron's
that's-
system. So I totally understand what you're saying, but it's kind of a double-edged sword for me because I'm like, this dude is homegrown. This dude's across the river. He's a Jersey kid. He could be a benefit to us, but I also see that his moodiness could really kind of shift us a different way. I agree that David Fizdale could make an impact and kind of influence him, but do you think Kyrie would want to work with a young core in a brand new system?
That's the tough part. Now, what do you think is going to happen with the third pick? You think the Knicks will take it?
I think they'll draft. I don't know what the alternative is. Like,
Trade.
Yeah, sure. So do they trade that pick, your boy Kevin Knox, and the 2 first rounds that they got from Dallas
Probably
to the
throw in Frank.
Pelicans?
Probably throw in Lonzo
Frank,
Trier.
you can have Frank. I would rather keep Trier. You can have
yeah,
Frank.
exactly.
Uh,
Just don't touch Mitchell. I think that's
No
the
Mitchell.
one. That's the one person.
We love Dotson. We'll keep Dotson. Knox. I like Knox too. I think Knox's upside is
I think,
amazing.
but that's like our true valuable trade chip right there is Kevin Knox.
I agree, and I think I would not be surprised if that happened. I
Well,
think the
what's-
Pelicans like reuniting RJ and Zion could be fun.
That'd be cool.
I don't think Anthony Davis is like he's going to be gone by
He absolutely will be.
by the 1st of July.
It's right now for me. It's a matter of LA or New York for Anthony Davis.
I mean, look, now LA has the 4th pick, which is like their most valuable trade asset. Like I don't think anybody's like jumping for joy over Lonzo.
No.
Like definitely not Ingram.
No, I mean LeBron was happy. He tweeted it out. He was ecstatic about that 4th pick.
Kuzma's the best one of them.
Yes.
I think he could be an all-star.
I think
Like
Ingram
6
might
man.
have the highest upside, but
But like they've been saying that forever.
it's been 3 years. He's like 22.
Right.
He got drafted at like 19.
He's kind of flimsy. Like he just looks flimsy.
He looks like Kevin Durant light.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's
Durant
who I-
was
that's
really
who I see.
skinny too.
He was. He was
when
rail
he was
thin.
at Texas.
He was rail thin. Thank you, server.
Very much.
Hey, quick,
Wow.
you mind tipping
On
him?
demand?
It's,
I'll give you a hat. Congratulations.
what's your fantasy perfect case scenario for the New York Knicks? I want to hear. Let's hear a starting 5 next year. Like, what's your perfect starting 5 for the
Wow.
Knicks? Mixing in trades, whoever we draft, whoever we have right now.
Okay.
So point guard.
Kemba Walker.
Kemba, New York guy.
The 2. I don't know.
It would be RJ Barrett or
I guess RJ Barrett. Is he gonna play the 2 or the 3?
he would probably play the 2.
He would flex. All right.
Yeah, he could flex between
Okay,
that.
so I'll take. Man, is that best case scenario though?
Is it? What's it? It's a
Trier,
dream
would Trier play
scenario.
the 2 or Trier's a true point guard?
Trier, nah, he could play the 2.
could
He
play
could
the
probably
2.
play the 2.
But
I think-
I wouldn't put him at the 2.
I want him off the bench. I kind of want him.
I agree.
He's explosive in the second
Yeah.
He
unit.
brings that Nate Robinson sort of energy,
Yep.
if you will.
It's a unique comparison.
Yeah.
Not the first one I'd go for, but I respect it.
Energy-wise.
That's how you know it's a Knicks
energy-wise.
fan.
Right.
Who you got at the 3?
I don't know, man. It's so hard to tell because there's so many different
So many
options
pieces.
out there.
I'll tell you mine. I'll
ahead,
tell you
give it
mine,
to
and
me.
then and then you see if you get any
All right,
ideas.
all
So, I still want Kyrie.
Okay.
Kemba, I would not mind whatsoever.
Yeah.
A little New York guy, I would respect that. So I would want Kyrie.
Okay.
At the 2, RJ Barrett.
Okay.
Assuming we're not trading away any of our young guys, at the 3, I think it's time Kevin Knox steps into that 3 role.
I agree.
At the 4, Kevin Durant.
And then
At
Mitchell
the
Robinson
5,
at the 5.
I wouldn't start him. I would start DeAndre Jordan.
Okay.
At the 5.
But
Mitchell
by the
Robinson
end of next
back him up.
season, Mitchell Robinson is the starting center of the
I
New
think
York
by the
Knicks.
middle of next season, Mitchell Robinson's probably going to start.
Yeah.
And DeAndre, the way his attitude is, I mean, I think he'd be perfectly okay mentoring this kid as long as we're winning games. He's with his boy KD, and
It
that's
seems like it. Yeah, he like his vibe has been good since he joined the squad.
Yes.
You know, he's not a dilettante. He's not like making demands or.
And no disrespect to Enes Kanter, the kid wanted to play. He's only 25, 26, but
Shout
like
out to Kanter though on Portland.
he's doing his
Doing
thing.
his thing.
man.
I don't-
It's my boy. Doing his thing since day one, man.
Yeah, do you miss him on the squad though?
Listen, I think that he's a crazy offensive power. He's one of those guys. I mean, listen, he was on OKC. He was a backup guy.
Right.
And they came so freaking close. I mean, if it ain't broke, kind of don't fix it to a certain extent. He was able to play against Jokic with the Portland Trailblazers. He played really good defense. When it came down to the T, he actually was able to put some stops on him.
Yeah.
And Jokic was kind of like struggling
True.
towards the end in Game 7.
Jokic is
I mean,
good,
what did he
though,
play?
man.
Like he
Jokic
literally
is insane.
played 65 minutes at one point. So
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, it's insane.
And you guys heard he's fasting for Ramadan,
yes,
right?
yep,
Yeah,
yep.
he's a
Kanter.
beast. One thing back to your starting five that I might have a problem with, in general, is the fact that I love hearing all this offensive power and these potential plays, but for me, like, it still lacks assists.
What?
Assists.
Oh, assists.
There are not that many players that can assist each other.
I mean, RJ Barrett put up what, like 6 assists per game at Duke.
True.
He can move a bit.
That's
But rookies-
NCAA though. It's a
But
little different, man.
with that,
Yeah.
all right, with that said, I don't think we can look back on this right now. But Mario Chalmers put up how many assists on that LeBron Miami Heat
Well,
team?
you're all LeBron, D. Wade.
I know
and
that, but
Chris
Kevin
Bosh.
Durant right now is the best player in the world. All right,
Still doesn't matter.
he's
To
the
me-
best
to
player in
me,
the
I still
world.
think you need some movement. I still think that offensive players, and we had a Carmelo Anthony, we had a super duper all-star, but without that legit playmaker that can move the ball around
With no
and
help.
get everyone room.
Until
It's
Jason
true.
Kidd came in.
Dude,
I see your point.
I mean, look how much more fluid the Warriors are with Durant on the bench. They move the ball. Durant eats up the ball. Kyrie needs the ball in his hands. You know what I
do.
mean? Like, you
They
can't
do.
have too many of those guys
No,
on the
exactly.
court at the same time.
They'll clash.
Yeah, it's not efficient.
It's
It's not
not,
sustainable.
but in the East, it'll get us to the conference finals at
Probably.
least.
I mean,
I think it's guaranteed. When you have a starting
Yeah.
lineup, like I think Eastern Conference Finals at the very least is guaranteed.
this shit is it's wishful thinking.
It
right?
is.
Like, we're not
It is.
like
You're on a Knicks show, man.
yeah, I
This
know,
is
I
all
know for
wishful
sure.
thinking.
But do we jinx it by putting too much of this hope out into the world?
Absolutely, absolutely. But
So like,
all right,
what?
have you not sensed that everyone's saying Kevin Durant's going to come to the Knicks?
I think
Do you
think
think
it's
that's not
logical
gonna
for
happen?
him to come to the
Yep.
Knicks. I think if they win the championship again, I think Steph probably gets the MVP because they owe him one. If not, it's gonna be Durant. That's back-to-back-to-back Finals MVPs. Only Jordan's done that
MJ.
twice, right?
Yep.
He's won 3 in a row with the Warriors. It's not his team. It'll never be his team. Steph is way more beloved. I think even Draymond and Clay and Iguodala are more beloved. I think Durant's ego is big. I think he's like a little bit of a head case. Obviously, his business partner moved some stuff to New York. I think it makes sense for him to try to go like reclaim his own team.
Yep. And New York would definitely be the place to do that.
It's kind of the only place he can go.
Yeah.
Like, where, maybe he's not gonna go to the Clippers.
No,
Definitely not.
I don't think he would go to the Clippers. I think he would get out of the Western Conference. He doesn't want to see Golden State and OKC 8 times total a year. Like that would be annoying as hell if I'm in his shoes.
Yeah. Yeah. OKC disappointed.
Okay,
They-
yeah,
yeah, they're
that was the point.
One of the
All right,
craziest
so-
things still. I don't know. You got to stop.
Yeah,
but
no.
One of the craziest realities ever in the NBA is that OKC had Harden, Durant, and Westbrook on the same team.
Yep.
Like,
And they got to the finals.
And all 3 of them have now won MVPs.
Yeah, that unbelievable drafting there. And I hope the Knicks will also find that fortune. Who knows, man? In the future, it'll be like, wow, Kevin Knox, Lonzo Trier, Mitchell Robinson, we're all in the same squad.
Praise be.
Oh my
Fingers
God, that
crossed,
would be
man.
amazing.
Fingers crossed on that one.
The conference finals are happening right now.
Yeah.
Who do you like?
I really love Portland's team. I think McCollum was insane in that last series. I love Damian Lillard. Like, I think he's a good superstar.
One of my favorites
He's
right now.
selfless. He's just an excellent basketball player. I would love to see them beat Golden State. It's not going to happen. I wouldn't be surprised if
Gentleman
Golden
sweep?
State sweeps them. Could be a gentleman sweep. Yeah. In the East, I think it's going to be Milwaukee. I don't trust Toronto ever. Like that. By the way, though, that shot that Kawhi hit was kind of the most crazy basketball finish I've ever seen.
It really was. And it was, actually, because no one's ever hit a Game 7 buzzer
Right.
beater.
Yep.
Unprecedented.
And he
literally.
didn't even react.
Is he like in a coma? That guy?
Half the time. He should have been in a coma Game 1 because they
Like
could
he
have used
barely
it.
even smiled. I don't get Kawhi.
You know, that's the thing, though. I trust in Kawhi, especially after what he did last series. I feel like he has enough.
Yeah.
Giannis is still too raw. He's still too new to being a superstar. I feel like
Really, you think so?
he is. I mean, it's facts. Like, this is the first year where they're like, he's definitely could win MVP.
I know.
I think before that he's been very good, but now this is the first time in the conference
Yeah.
finals. This type of spotlight on him, I kind of trust Kawhi over him.
Really?
I don't trust the Raptors over them. I trust Kawhi though.
I'm gonna side with Q on this one. I think Milwaukee's gonna take it all the way, just because Toronto has that choking luck.
And also they have a
They're
better coach.
chokers.
And then final.
Budenholzer is like, it's Nick Nurse is the coach of the
Yeah.
Raptors. Who's Nick Nurse? Like the Atlanta team that first of all, he comes from Popovich. The school of Popovich is like, second to none. Then he takes that shitty Atlanta team to 60+ wins, and then they lose in the second round. He's a really good coach.
Budenholzer.
Once upon a time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Once upon a time.
Yeah. I like this.
So who you got in the finals?
How can you choose against the Warriors at this point? Like,
You can't.
It breaks my heart
How many
to say
games?
that again. I don't think that they have. I think Giannis is on the level of LeBron in terms of like his freakishness as an athlete. So I think they'll push them to 6 games at
They're
least.
deep. They're
deep.
They're a deep team, and also I think on the inside is where the Warriors will end up struggling the
Right.
most. And so I think that's probably how they're going to sneak out, maybe like two
Yeah,
wins.
I think so. I think it's like Patrick Mahomes' situation. Like, he was second year, first year,
Yep.
superstar,
Yep.
right? I think Giannis is in a similar boat. I think they get to the finals, but they're the bridesmaid.
Yep.
I think they lose, and I think he'll win a couple championships, maybe as early as next year.
No, because the Knicks have it next year. Q, thanks again for joining us, man.
Are we
It's
done?
an
That's
absolute
it?
pleasure. You got more to add? You want to talk more
we got-
Knicks?
what else we got to talk about? I guess that's kind of it.
Unfortunately, you know what we'll do once we actually
This guy's
draft
making
someone.
s'mores over here.
Once we actually draft someone, we'll bring you back on.
Okay, great. Yeah,
Sounds like
like
a
do
plan.
draft day party.
Draft day party.
Over under 15 wins next season.
I'll happily take the over on that.
I'm gonna have to go
15
with that as
wins.
well. Yep.
15.
They-
We
what
got
did they win?
17 this year.
Yeah, man. It's gonna be.
Did they win
diff-
17 games?
17 wins.
Yeah.
The tied for the
Tied
lowest.
for the worst record in franchise
yeah.
history.
And yet we still didn't get the number 1 pick because the year that they
Because
changed
this is the
odds.
year. This is the year they would change the odds.
So
Also,
Q-
no, it wouldn't look good for the NBA if the Knicks got the first pick. Because then they'd be like, this tanking bullshit actually works.
Correct, but that's the problem is that like they're not. The NBA's not fixing stuff. Like, can you imagine if they got caught fixing the draft?
In 1985, I could.
I
They don't have hidden
Bill
cameras
Simmons
there.
was
They don't
telling me about it
have
the other
like.
day.
I think in '85 they had to.
Stern was kind of sketchy though. I don't
was.
think Adam Silver.
There were
was
so many weird tie-ins to how they possibly could have rigged all of this. So I wish they did it again, but clearly the NBA wanted to see Zion in a Pelicans uniform playing in Smoothie King Center.
I think
I
it's,
can't.
I
Second
think it's
smallest
I
market
can't.
in the NBA.
But that's interesting. So that's what
And
I
the
wanted
newest.
to talk about too, because I think the idea of small versus big market is irrelevant now. I think in the world that we live in today, it does not matter.
I think the reason it's irrelevant is because the Lakers and the Knicks
They're terrible.
and Chicago and Miami kind of maybe throw them in there, but they haven't been good.
Right.
And yet they're still some of the most valuable franchises in the NBA. The Knicks are the most valuable franchise. If we ended up winning, I think it would take it to another stratosphere. And so the NBA right now, I feel like they're like, yes, all the teams are making a lot of money.
Right.
But I don't think they realize what they have in hand when you have a really good New York team and a really good LA team.
I mean, it's true, but does it dilute Zion's marketing potential to be in New Orleans? I say no.
No, I agree with
think
that.
I don't think it matttters.
Oh.
The world is too small, dude. The
I
internet
don't know,
has changed
man.
everything.
Okay, I see your point, but I think there's so much more upside if it is actually in New York.
Right, but like look at Durant. Like when Durant, he got his Nike deal when he was with OKC. Like
He did.
how many of these dudes are actually doing?
It only
like,
took him a
big
finals
time-
appearance to do that. So if you think that Zion and the Pelicans can make a couple playoff runs in the West, I don't know about that.
Is Zion gonna sign with Nike? For
Yeah,
sure, right?
Yeah.
He's got it.
They flew out like everyone and their mom after that shoe
He's
blew
got
up.
it, man.
So
How many more times his salary do you think he's gonna make from Nike?
so he's probably gonna make around like $8 million as a rookie.
Right.
$8 million per year.
Do they give him $100
Probably
million?
yeah, $100 million contract.
That's what LeBron was making out of high school. Man.
Yeah.
He was making 90
Is that
million,
right?
90 million.
His
yeah.
first contract was
He
90
didn't,
million.
he didn't step
I think-
foot on the
I think
NBA
easily.
floor. He was making $90 million from Nike.
I think per year it's probably going to hover
That's
around
crazy.
a max contract, which is like 35, 36. At least. So I think easily it's gonna happen.
I almost forgot that before we depart, I brought you guys
Oh.
some gifts.
Yo,
There's no sweatshirts in here. I forget if I gave you these before. before.
No,
Oh, you don't have
you
these,
didn't.
right?
No,
Okay,
these
good.
are fire. We did get hats, but not.
But you
not
didn't get the
these.
new colorways, right?
Yeah.
You didn't get the new colorways. All right.
That's fire, man.
So we have
let's get it up to the camera.
We have the vintage colorway.
Yep.
The gold, it's kind of gold, like the burnt orange and navy. And then we have like the OG
these are
classic
fire, man.
royal
Thank you so
blue,
much.
ugly ass orange.
Ugly ass orange.
Knicks
But
dad
it's the
hat.
Knicks colors, you know.
It's great.
This
and you know what?
This has always been my favorite part.
I know
This
the logo.
This is fire
the
right
logo
here.
is so good.
Let me bring it
Put it
up.
up there.
Logo's fire.
This
man.
is.
Fire.
Thank you, Q.
It's one of my favorite things. Yeah, of course. So I brought you 10.
Oh, you're
5
the man.
of each.
You're the man.
Hopefully you can. Yeah, of course. So wear them.
We're
Maybe
gonna
you
wear
will
the crap
buy them.
out of them.
No, this
We're
was the worst selling item that we made for
Oh,
the
really?
Knicks. We made 20 different pieces. People didn't like it.
Not after we wear it.
Thanks for giving it to us, Q.
Yeah, so I had a lot left. I had a lot of leftover. This one was really popular though, so I had to like go deep into the
Nah,
vault.
these are so
Q,
fire.
you're the man.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you again.
Yo, thank you for
We're gonna
having
be
me.
hitting you up right after the lotto.
Dude, I can be
Right after
I'm
your
the
draft.
6th man, right?
Sixth man of
Like,
the
can
year.
we get
baby.
that? Can
Sixth
we get
man
that
of
in
the year.
writing? Let's go.
Quincy Moore, founder and creative director of Nolita, behind the iconic New York or Nowhere brand, which is its own thing now.
Let's go. NYON, NewYorkerNowhere.com.
baby.
New York or Nowhere on Instagram.
Hit them up on at MSG when you guys are at
Also
the games.
MSG. You can buy the product at the MSG store throughout the summer. And then we got some fun stuff coming up with the Knicks next season that you guys will be the first to know. We'll debut it.
Cheers to that, brother.
Cheers.
Wonderful, my
Thanks for
friend.
coming out, man.
Go Knicks.
Go Knicks.
Hoping for more than 17 wins.
Over 15.
20 wins or nowhere.
20 wins or nowhere.
That's the next
Motto.
campaign.
That's the motto for
That's
next season.
brilliant, man. That was awesome, man.